Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone and hello Mamnik Matunyaya SAMSI AKT SO Lecture Research Methodology. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Ajeng Nurcahyani, number 1 from EK3C Semarang State Polytechnic. On this occasion, I will present a final project proposal with the title Calculation, Withholding and Reporting of Income Tax Article 22 and Article 23 on the XYZ Department of Central Java Province in 2023. Next, presentation structure. There are 6 points that I will explain. The first is background, 2 formulation of the problem, 3 purpose, 4 benefit, 5 literature review, and 6 research methodology. Next, starting from the background, the first is based on state development. Taxes are one source of state income in carrying out national development, which is an obligation that must be carried out by every citizen. Every taxpayer is responsible for carrying out their obligation to pay tax. The tax obligation included in this are income tax, which is imposed on the income of individual or entities for the income they receive or obtain in a tax year. Two, based on Income Tax Article 22 and Article 23, first, Income Tax Article 22 is imposed on business entity but government owned and privately owned. Two, Income Tax Article 23 is imposed on capital, service delivery, or give and hours other than those that have been deducted by Income Tax Article 21. 3. Based on XYZ Department of Central Java Province. The implementing element of the regional government, which is led by a head of service who is subordinate to and responsible to the mayor through the regional secretary. Next, formulation of the problem. The first formulation of the problem is how is Income Tax Article 22 and Article 23 calculated for the XYZ Department of Central Java Province in 2023? 2. How is the obligation to withhold income tax Article 22 and Article 23 carried out at the XYZ Department of Central Java Province in 2023? And 3. What is the obligation to report income tax Article 22 and Article 23 to the XYZ Department of Central Java Province in 2023? Next is the purpose. The research assumes first to find out the calculation income tax Article 22 and Article 23 for 2023, which is has been carried out by the Treasurer of the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. 2. To find out the implementation of the obligation to withhold income tax Article 22 and Article 23 by the Treasurer of the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. 3. To find out the reporting obligation of Income Tax Article 22 and Article 23 by the Treasurer of the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. Next, the benefit obtained from this research are first, can find out the suitable of the calculation of Income Tax Article 22 and Article 23, the applicable tax regulation. 2. The result can be used as input for the XYZ department regarding the correct calculation, withholding, and reporting of income tax Article 22 and Article 23 in accordance with applicable tax regulation. 3. As reference material for Semarang State Polytechnic student or for future research regarding the calculation, withholding, and reporting of income tax Article 22 and Article 23. Next, in the research, several literature review is 1. Text definition, 2. Text function, 3. Text grouping, 4. Text collection procedure, 5. Text right, 6. Text payable, 7. Income tax, and 8. Income tax Article 22 and Article 23. Okay, next. First, tax definition. According to Mardiasmo, tax are people contribution the state treasury based on law with how to achieve reciprocal service, which is are directly addressed and which are used to pay for public space. 2. Tax function. According to Mardiasmo, there are 2 tax functions, namely budgetary function and regular function. One, budgetary function. In this case, tax have a function as a source of revenue for the state which is collected in the APBN. Second, regulate function. This function assumes that tax can be used as means to regulate or implement government policies outside the financial field, such as the social and economic field. Next, 3. Tax grouping. 1. According to the group, direct tax and indirect tax. 2. According to its nature, subjective text and objective text. 3. According to the collection agency, central text and local text. Next, 4. Text collection procedure. 1. Text system. Real style cell, assumption style cell, and mixed style cell. 2. The principle of the text collection, domicile principle, search principle, and principle of nationality. 3. The text collection system, official assessment system, self-assessment system, withholding assessment system. Next, 5. Text right. According to Mardiasmo, there are four types of text right, namely 1. A proportional text right, 2. A fixed text right, 3. A progressive text right, and 4. A digressive text right. Next, 6. Text payable. 1. Text occurrence of text due, formal instruction and material instruction. 2. Text payable expiration, payment or repayment, compensation, expired, and emancipation or elimination. Next, 7. Income tax. According to Income Tax Law number 36 of 2008, Article 1 state, income tax is imposed on tax subject for income received or earned in the tax year. 8. Income tax Article 22 and Article 23. 1. Income tax Article 22. Income tax, the collection of which is carried out by the treasurer or certain business entity but government owned and private which carry out export, import, and re-import activity or other business activity. 2. Income tax Article 23. Income tax imposed on income from capital rendering of service or gift and awards other than to deduct from Article 21 income tax. Next, okay, this is research methodology. There are some discussion in the research methodology. There are first, data classification, two data collection method, three data analysis method, and four rating method. Starting from the data classification, in the data classification, there are several types of data. The first is type of data by nature. When quantitative data, the quantitative data used in rating final project is data regarding the calculation, withholding, deposit, and reporting of income tax Article 22 and Article 23 by the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. 2. Qualitative data. The qualitative data used in writing this final project is a brief history, organizational structure for the XYZ Department of Central Java Province, data and function as well as other data relevant to this writing. Next, data classification in the types of database search. When primary data. In rating this final project, primary data was used in the form of data from interview with the treasurer and filed stuff relating to the calculation, recording, deposit, and report of income tax Article 22 and Article 23 by the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. 2. Secondary data. In grading this final project, the secondary data that will be used data regarding the calculation, recording, deposit, and reporting of income tax Article 22 and Article 23 by the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. Next, data collection method. When interview, the interview that the author will conduct in preparing this final project is by ask several questions to the financial staff on the staff of the XYZ Department of Central Java Province related to the title of the final project. 2. Documentation study. The documentation study method is carried out by reading and studying various books related to the calculation of income tax Article 22 and Article 23. Next, this is data analysis method. When collect the data needed to make observation, track, and interview process with source related to detection treatment to support the ease of writing the final project with the object of research at the XYZ Department Central Java Province. 2. Study the data that has been obtained by adjusting the data to existing theory. And 3. Check calculation, reporting, and withholding of text whether there are accordance with the provision or not. Next, this is writing method. When descriptive method, the descriptive method in writing this final project is the form of data regarding the calculation, withholding, deposit, and reporting of income tax, Article 22 and Article 23, by the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. 2. Exposition method. The exposition method in writing this final project is regarding the calculation, withholding, and reporting of income tax, Article 22 and Article 23 at the XYZ Department of Central Java Province. Next, this is rating systematics. 1. Introduction to literature review. 3. Research method for research and discussion. And 5. Closing. Okay, this is my schedule. This research. First, little submission and consultation for 1 week. Proposal preparation for 1 week. Data collection for 1 week. Data analysis for 4 weeks. Preparation and consultation of chapter 1 for 4 weeks. Preparation and consultation of chapter 2 for 4 weeks. Preparation and consultation of chapter 3 for 2 weeks. Preparation and consultation of chapter 4 for 1 week. Preparation and consultation of chapter 5 for 1 week, and DFTA for 1 week. Okay, my presentation is enough. Thank you very much for your attention and thank you for watching.